Hi, I'm Joan Cartan Hansen, and welcome to Science Trek, the web show, and welcome to Zoo Boise. Joining me today to answer your questions about the food web are Dr. Holly Holman and Adair Evans. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Glad I could be here. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to your questions.
Hi, my name is Tana, and I go to Basin Elementary, and my question is, what is the biggest top predator?
Well, again, I think you have to look to the ocean. So whales would be the biggest top predator. Some of the whales eat things like plankton or krill, which are little teeny tiny organisms that float around in the ocean. And then obviously they also feed on fish and other marine life. So the whales would be the kings of the ocean when it comes to predators.
Courtney would like to know, where are bears in the food web?
Bears would be at the top. At least when you think about most food chains. So in Idaho we have black bears and we have grizzly bears, and both of our bears actually eat mostly plants rather than animals. So if we think about a bear like a black bear, they could eat that blueberry or the huckleberry that they find in the forest, and that could be the end of it. The reason that we kind of think of them being at the top is because there really isn't very many things that are going to eat a bear. People do hunt bears, so there might be an opportunity for a person to eat a bear that way. But really, there's not very many animals that are going to kill a full-sized grown bear.
Hi, my name is Brie. I'm from Galileo STEM Academy, and my question is, why do we have food webs?
I think we have the food web just to show how the environment is interconnected with all of the animals and all of the plants and the sun and all the nutrients together.
I think food webs are really important because it does help to show us how everything is connected in the environment. And it can also help to show us if something goes wrong, where did it go wrong? So it can help us really determine whether an environment is healthy. If we notice that one animal is struggling, we need to look at what it eats, and that might point us in another direction where we need to focus some energy and some time to seeing how we can make the whole world or the whole environment a healthier system. And looking at the food chains and the food web can help us to do that.
Hello, my name is Isaiah. The school I am at is the Basin Elementary. My question is, why do other animals eat each other?
Why do animals eat each other? Because they're hungry. Animals need food, just like we need food. And some animals are designed to eat other animals. If we look at something like a bat that lives in Idaho, like a hoary bat, they mostly eat insects. Now to you that doesn't sound very appetizing, but to a hoary bat that's pretty yummy. And they love to eat moths. And by that hoary bat eating the moths, it actually helps to keep the environment really healthy, because that moth might be a certain moth that maybe would attack that ear of corn that maybe you really do like to munch on. So by the bat eating the moth, it keeps everything nice and healthy, and that little moth gives the hoary bat what it needs to be able to survive.
Hello, my name is Brennan, and I am from Basin Elementary. My question is, does the food chain go on forever?
Does the food chain go on forever? Everything has to come to an end. So if we think about a food chain, you could end your food chain at the top predator if you like, but I like to take it all the way down. So we have somebody that eats another animal, they die, scavengers will pick up all those little bits and pieces, and for me a food chain actually ends when that animal is completely decomposed back into the soil. So I suppose it kind of depends on your definition of how far you want to take your food chain. But for me, it doesn't happen until that animal is completely decomposed, and then it would definitely come to an end.
Hello, my name is Molly, and I go to Galileo STEM Academy, and my question is, how many animals can fit on a food web?
As many as you can imagine. A food web can be as small or as complicated as you want it to be. Remember that it's going to involve all the animals and plants and energy sources that would provide nutrients in a certain environment. So however large your environment is how big your food web could be.
Kate would like to know, shouldn't the sun be in the food chain because plants get energy from the sun?
My answer would be yes. because you can't have a food chain unless you have some source of energy. So it would be the sun or some other source of energy where an animal or a microbe is getting their first little bit of energy from.
Sydney asks, is anything else an energy besides sunlight?
Yes. When we look at the deep, deep oceans, no sun can reach the ocean floor. And so there's food chains and food webs that happen very deep in the ocean. And where those particular food chains and food webs start is at very, very deep sea vents. And in these sea vents, it kind of spew out, they look like little mini volcanoes in the water. And they spew out all of these minerals and chemicals. And down deep in the ocean, there are these little teeny bacteria that eat the chemicals and the minerals. And then there are zooplankton, these little teeny weeny organisms that eat the bacteria. And they're the start of the food chains and the food webs in the ocean. So it's not only the sun that can start the food chains and food webs, it's also those deep sea vents that spew out all those chemicals.
Hi, my name is Ellie. I go to Galileo STEM Academy, and I have a question. Are food webs important?
Yes, food webs are important because they show us the interconnection between all the living animals and plants that are in our environment.
I'm sorry we've run out of time. My thanks to Holly and Adair for answering questions today.
Thanks, it's been fun.
It has been fun, thank you.
And thanks too to the folks here at Zoo Boise for hosting us. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, check out the food web area on the Science Trek website. You'll find facts, links, games, our food web broadcast show, and lots more. And every week, check out my blog for the latest science news for kids. All that at idahoptv.org. Thanks for joining us for Science Trek, the web show.